Okay, so after you've done the description of your habitat, the next piece that you're going to look at is the picture of the food the fish eats. So if I flip this, oops, I have it all together here. If I've got it all, here we go. I have to do this correctly. Okay, so here's a picture. I did a picture of what they eat. I drew the pink-tipped anemone, okay, and then inside the anemone is where I drew the food that they eat, okay, and you'll see on the back here again are my sources, okay, and I did two sources for this one. I used the Life in the Coral Reef book, and then I also used a website. It's called reference.com, and there was a little article on there. Now, articles are much shorter than books. I think we can all agree about that. It's a shorter piece of writing. It's like maybe 1 page or 2 pages. It's an article. It's very short. So when I write that I read an article, I just write the name of it and I capitalize it. What do clownfish eat? And this was how it was written on the web page. Sometimes we would capitalize clownfish and eat, but I just wrote how it was written for the actual title of the article. I want you looking right up here so you don't miss this. You're going to be expected to do this, so it's very important that you know how to do it. Since it's an article, I'm not underlining it. I'm putting it in quotation marks. It's a shorter piece. All right, so you're going to want to put that in quotation marks. Now, sometimes for websites, for articles on reference sites and other sites like National Geographic or other sorts of sites like that, we can't always find an author. So I just wrote no author. Okay, it is obviously by someone, but there's no, please don't speak, I'm recording, but there's nobody that's stated on there. And then for the date, I did a copyright mark. This is a copyright mark, a C with a circle around it, and then I just wrote the date, which the only date I could find was 2017. Sometimes dates and authors are harder to find on websites. So the way I look for them is I scroll way down to the bottom if there's nothing right at the top. And I look around a little bit. And then if I still don't find anything, then you might have to write no author, maybe even no date. You should definitely be able to find whatever the .com or .org is and the title of whatever it is you're reading. Those two pieces should definitely be there. So if you were to go on to do a search on the internet, you could type these pieces in and you would be able to find that article. That's the point of that, basically. Okay, so for your sources. And then once you get your sources down, or you can do the picture first and then write your sources, but I drew the little pieces of things that it eats around there, and I drew a little rock here with algae on it because it eats algae. It eats different kinds of plankton, which are very, very tiny, tiny, tiny things, so I just kind of drew tiny stuff, and it also eats waste from the sea anemone. And that's where you get, the next page is actually where you're doing the description of the food, which for some reason I did in orange. I meant to do it in green, but apparently I did it in orange, so sorry about that. And again, my sources are right here. You want to be citing everything you're getting, everywhere you're getting something. So I wrote for my description, clownfish eat plankton, algae, and even waste from the sea anemone. They also eat other very small clownfish. Okay? Yeah, I was very surprised about that too. And remember, when I found this information, I put it into my own words. I did not copy this from anywhere. Yes, I got the information from this book and also from this website called animalstime.com, and it was a little article, which is why I put it in quotation marks, called Clownfish Facts for Kids. Okay, and that's where I got the information from these two places, and there was no author and no date. So let's see if you have any questions.